It is my honor and my pleasure to introduce Lindsey Butterfield, Mary Butterfield Roth, to speak to us and tell us again about her experience and just the message to this group of young women and champions the same way that she will forever be a champion. By the way, Lindsey went after BGSU to the Ohio State and graduated from the dental school, and she's a dentist in the Columbus area, right? But it's my honor and privilege to invite Lindsey here.
Hello. Some of this is going to be a little bit of a repeat. Some of it will be new. My name is Lindsey Butterfield. Married name is Roth. You might have heard Coach throw it in a few times. Around the BG community, I'm just known as Butter. It was a little strange to hear her call me Lindsey. I also hope that none of you were at the 2010 when Stephanie spoke, because she is a phenomenal speaker. So that's a hard person to follow. So of course, thanks are in order to the BGSU volleyball team and staff for having me and asking me to speak today, and to the supporters and fans of this amazing program. These monumental milestones are achieved thanks to you as well. I do have a disclaimer before I begin. If I get a little emotional sharing my experience, I am about halfway pregnant through our second son. So if I get hormonal or red or anything, I'm completely blaming it on that. So some background on me, it will be a little bit repetitive. I played for Bowling Green in the seasons of 2010, 11, 12, and 13. As Coach said, I had a slightly unique start. I graduated high school a semester early and came into the spring prior to our 2010 season to train with my, didn't know it at the time, but my best friend, Ashley Moeller. She's now Ashley Dunn. The highlight of my career was being captain and player of the historic 2012 team, where we won the MAC tournament and had the first NCAA win in program history, advancing us on to the second round of the NCAA tournament. I then graduated in December of 2013. That was the completion of my 4 years, but I did hang around the rest of that spring season. I was on the pre-med, pre-dental track my entire education. As Coach said again, I earned a Bachelor of Science as a biology major, chemistry minor, and university and departmental honors. From there, I was accepted into the Ohio State University College of Dentistry, which is a 4-year full-time commitment after you leave undergrad. And this is where I completed my doctorate of dental surgery degree, which has allowed me to be the practicing dentist I am today. I do practice in Springfield, which is my hometown, but I live in Marysville with my husband, Matt. Our son, Connor, is the little redhead you guys have probably seen take 4 or 5 bathroom trips. And our second son. My parents also came with me. My mom is somewhere with my little redhead, and my dad is right here. As in all other times in my life, they have showed unwavering support. I don't think they missed one event while I was at Bowling Green. Being back around the BG volleyball program in this city, the girls, makes me feel young and old at the same time. There are very brief moments watching yesterday where I was ready to suit up and go out there and beg for the set on match point, and then I kind of get up close and personal watching the practice in the early fall and realize the talent and the physicality and the speed of the game, and I am definitely not as young as I feel or as I think. But today we are here to honor and celebrate the wonderful 2022 BGSU volleyball team and coaching staff on all of your phenomenal accomplishments. You were a pleasure to meet over the summer, watch and cheer on this past season. Be very, very, very proud of yourselves. As a former player who is part of a championship program team, I know that winning is one of the hardest tasks you have faced thus far. It's not without mental and physical stress, injury, or at times possibly doubt and heartache. It's so much more than hard work. People just say, oh, they work hard. It is so much more than hard work, and that's the bond that all athletes talk about. Only you guys know exactly what this season entailed. There are a lot of emotions, good and bad, that come along with the standard of winning, the standard that this program has cultivated. There can be unyielding days and stress over bad practices and conflict. That's all part of the journey to win a championship. It is never easy. You've learned to welcome challenges and win. I've said this before, but I personally believe that once you become a top-tier team, any sport, any team, any conference, Player for player matchups can be very similar at the end when you go to win a championship, but it's the special cocktail: coaching staffs, relationships, trust, and then the skill that allows you to win a championship. It takes everything. And congratulations, you not only survived, but you succeeded. All while absorbing invaluable core lessons. Core lessons and core memories, which brings me to one of my most favorite memories that Coach highlighted on a little bit. Some of the current players may know if you watched our video from 2012. As she said, we were playing Northern. We were down 2 sets in the MAC championship game. And before the coaches come in, all the girls get together and we're trying to figure out what's going on. And for those who have been in coach's office, I've seen a mangled water bottle carrier that has a bunch of signatures on it. Well, coach came in, we were down 2 sets, and we had just lost to Northern the week before. And she comes in and gives that water carrier a hell of a boot and smashes it. There's a little remnant left, which she keeps in her office, but continued to stomp on any piece that was available while encouraging us to go out the next few sets and win. And guess what? We did. So at that time, I know the players, some moments in the season may not seem like they're going to turn out the way you hope, or they may hurt your heart a little bit. But in the end, that allowed us to win a championship and was kind of the kick to the keister that we needed. But today, I hope to highlight how winning a championship and being part of a winning program has impacted my life and prepared me for career and adulthood after you leave this magical place. I'll begin with a quick summation of my time here. Again, a little repetitive. My days at BG also required intensive studying and course load. I knew playing volleyball and reaching my goal of being accepted into dental school at the end of my education would be no simple task. In fact, some didn't think I could excel in both areas. I utilized our wonderful student athlete services, definitely more than the average athlete, especially when scheduling and choosing instructors. I chose a lot who would help me understand and be willing to accommodate our crazy schedule, and realized that I was pouring a lot of my mental and physical time into playing volleyball. I saw the Meserves earlier. They're back in the corner. They're just a few who were instrumental in me completing my education. My last 2 years, I also added studying for the DAT, the dental admissions test, which is required and used to determine admittance into dental school. It just so happened that this test and the preparation for it came during our 2012 season. So we were winning a championship while I was trying to get into dental school at the same time. If I had any gaps around practice blocks, I usually remained at the Stroh to study. It seemed like walking across campus, which was a lot smaller 10 years ago, seemed like it was a waste of time. But don't worry, I definitely prioritized time to have fun being a college student, and those frigid late night walks to and from downtown will stick with you for life. Following that application process, I did achieve admittance into dental school. As a player, I'm not sure if anyone would ever call me calm. My celebrations were known to get a little out of hand. I did tell some of the alumni yesterday, I wish I played during the era of the chest bump. I think that's awesome. I think I also would have injured a player or two if I played at that time. But BGVB did teach me to trust the process. As our season played out and the semester carried on, I started to see parallels of playing for a championship program and the start to my career as a dentist. The process of winning a championship and the process of performing on my DAT and my interviews. I was beginning to realize the sizable impact that BG Volleyball had and was having on my life. It was teaching me, and I was my own witness. After leaving Bowling Green, each new chapter in my life brought stressors and things unfamiliar. I continued to rely heavily on my experience to guide me and remind me not only what I was capable of, but that I've achieved equivalent mental pressures and overcome, especially that 2012 season. Attending Ohio State for dental school was a large undertaking, but Bowling Green had prepared me. It seemed relatively seamless going as an athlete to a professional medical student. My colleagues were struggling with lack of free time, devoting time to practicing their hand skills. They were not adjusting to early mornings or late nights. Many did not continue to schedule time to work out or provide themselves proper nutrition. Again, I operated as I had always been trained and practiced to do. I treated my body well, learned to study at weird times with disruptions, and embraced each new challenge. I do think the Florida Gators, the 2,500 fans that were screaming and doing their chomp when I was a freshman serving 2 feet from the end line, is why high pressure hand skills exams just didn't seem to rattle me as they had everybody else. I demanded hard cases and challenging patience as I had demanded the set for match point in our MAC championship game. And I can attest that what you've learned this past season will continue to play out in your life so fluidly, you won't even realize you relied on these lessons until the hardship has passed. It will be your brain's muscle memory from all the training you completed here. My life as a dentist is continuing to balance and manage pressure and stress, and adding my most important roles as being a mom and a wife. I know learning to balance is all too familiar with the team, managing your studies, athletics, social life, and mental health. Just as your practices and training, the success of my treatment requires me to operate at 100% and remain extremely detail-oriented amidst all other distraction. The sport as a whole also taught me to be adaptable, something which my type A linear brain did not always like. Scouting reports change, lineups vary, passes get shanked, injuries happen just as people call off work last minute, your child only wants their mom, or your straightforward procedure turns extremely complex. Volleyball forced me to rewire and allowed me to accommodate these changes in my life. This is why future employers jump at the opportunity to hire an athlete. Your competitiveness is sought after, as well as your flexibility while keeping that attention to detail. The rigorous hours that you guys are accustomed to are multiples higher than the average person. And all of this is why being a BGSC volleyball champion makes you an ideal hire in any field. I didn't always see the team aspect I was so familiar with until I entered that working world. No matter your career choice, you will have systems of bosses like coaches, supportive staff, such as athletic trainers, personal trainers, and media team that mimic your program now. You have seen the value and importance of every single role, whether you decide to coach and own your own business or work behind the scenes, such as your strength staff. You now know that being a champion requires every member of the team, not just those on the court, to buy in and have the same goal. And I hope to have highlighted my personal experience playing volleyball has aligned with so many moments in my life. However, there were also many lessons learned along the way. The hormones. The first, much to my dad's pleasure, reminded me this morning, a hard lesson I learned my freshman year. I don't know any parents whose children came home with piercings or tattoos, but I was one of them. And one of my piercings included what's called a dermal piercing. And for those who don't know, it's not that goes in your ears, it goes into your skin. And as a Division I volleyball athlete, I decided to put one on my finger. Well, that summer, our athletic trainer and our strength trainers decided we needed a boxing unit to better improve our cardio and hand-eye coordination. So 2 days after I pierced my finger, I had to put on boxing gloves, and that was the last time I ever had a piercing. So that's for you parents out there. Your children will make mistakes, but put on a pair of boxing gloves and they'll figure it out. My path with Bowling Green, as Coach said, was in 2 different styles and 2 different programs. I will be forever thankful to the staff who recruited me and created the perfect group of girls and taught me some hard truths. My first 2 years were tumultuous, filled with a range of emotions and second thoughts. However, resiliency, my teammates, and the commitment I made to this university kept me here. Once I was given the opportunity under Coach Tomich my last 2 seasons to showcase my talents, I never looked back. Seasons of life also have moments like this, where you may feel underwhelmed, out of sorts, or just fed up. But adapting and then overcoming is a cycle that is on repeat and one that I am thankful to have had practice at while I was here. I can truly say without my first 2 years, the player and person I became would have never surfaced. You guys have the opportunity to learn how to manage this challenging cycle and get good at it. This season, you have had momentous internal change that created champions on the court and in life. Playing for Bowling Green is not only about hanging banners, although this program and the supporters damn well deserve it. What you are learning here and what your coaches are teaching you, how your trainers are pushing you, how your university is educating you, and the way your fans are counting on you is all a precursor for what's ahead. The best thing you can do is reflect on this time, and my method was to take mental snapshots. What I mean by this is on hard days, great days, highs and lows, European trips, take a moment in time and make a memory. Pause, literally, take 10 seconds and look around you and absorb everything it has to offer. By doing so, you've added to your library of lessons, and be intentional with this. I still have so many times where a song comes on the radio, the weather changes, I see an old photo, and it brings me right back to this campus and this program. And I reflect back on my time, and it reminds me what I'm capable of, or the memories simply bring me joy when I need it most. Right now, you guys are in such a unique period of life. Don't let that pass without taking all it has to offer. And remember the vital role your coaches are playing in not only winning, but fabricating you into better people. Better women who now have an arsenal to take on the world. You have been given friendships and sisters for life. Time goes by fast and years slip away, but something about this program, this university, and this community will always bring you back to one another. In closing, remember to always be thankful for your family, this school and community, God, your coaching staff, fans, and teammates, and be fiercely proud of yourself and what you have accomplished. I know I cannot thank BG enough for what has given me as an athlete and a person. It forever impacted and changed my life. I know what it has already given me, and I know it will only continue to provide value as time goes on. Thank you again to the 2022 players, coaches, supporters, and fans for having me back to share my experience with you guys today. It's been an honor. Congratulations, and go Falcons.